High school sports fans, are you following Varsity Media on our YouTube channel? For the best coverage of New York high school sports, make sure you head to youtube.com/varsitymedia. 3 easy steps. First, hit that like button, and then be sure to subscribe. And finally, tap that yellow bell to be notified of all of our upcoming sportscasts. Thank you for following Varsity Media on YouTube.
At St. Francis Heart Center, we're not just regional heart experts. We share our greater success with the world. We don't just pioneer technology. We do it more than anywhere on Greater Long Island. And we don't just win awards. We deliver greater outcomes for people like you. As New York's only specialty designated cardiac center, we're not satisfied with just being good. This is Long Island. This is St. Francis Heart Center. And greater lives here.
Tuesday evening in the hallowed halls in Mineola High School showdown as the St. John the Baptist Cougars and Chaminade Flyers lock horns on a frigid but fun night here in Mineola. On the Varsity Media Sports Network, the St. John the Baptist Cougars take on the Chaminade Flyers. Today's game is sponsored by Catholic Health. And a pleasant good evening, everybody. Alongside Rob Anderson, I'm John Perez. And Rob, this is going to be a fun one here tonight. St. John the Baptist comes into this game. They're a feisty team. A win against St. Dom's on Valentine's Day a week ago, but then a loss in their follow-up game to Kellenberg. It's a team that's standing right in the middle of the pack in the standings, and as they try and get their seeding on the line, they're going to have to rely on 2 players today, and it's going to be a pair of brothers, Stevie Williams and Chris Williams.
Yeah, you got those 2 Williams brothers out there. Christian Williams, one of the guys who's a leader on the court, sets up a lot of their plays out on the court. Coach looks for him to be a leader out there. And then older brother Stephen, the senior, both from North Babylon, out there. And great on the court, off the court, one of the leaders in practice. It's going to be a fun one watching those 2 play.
Stephen Williams dominated in the win over St. Dom's, although it was a narrow victory. He had 18 points in the first half, and then it led to the 3-headed assault, and we'll talk more about the Cougars as we go on. Who do they go against? One of the top teams in not just the NSC HSAA, but all of Long Island, the Chaminade Flyers, and 2 players that we're going to keep an eye on are also fraternal brothers, as well as it's the Dillon brothers, Devin and Kyle Dillon.
It doesn't get better than that, right? The 2 brothers here from Bayside, older brother Devin, he coach says he loves him. He's a dream to coach. He's one of those guys that does a lot out there. And then you got younger brother Kyle, who coach says he's probably the best player on the court. He's got years of him, only a sophomore. And if you look at those combined numbers, John, 27 points combined a game.
Yeah, they're 2 fun teams to watch. And there's a lot that has to go into this game, obviously, for St. John the Baptist to pull the upset. As we look at our keys to the game, Rob, how do the Cougars get it done?
So if we take a look, St. John the Baptist needs to contain the Dillon brothers, like we said, and that's, the no-brainer. Execute on offense. Don't allow too many opportunities. Make sure that they control that court on both sides of the court. Play smart defensively, especially eliminate those 3-pointers. And then over on the Chaminade, it's a matter of taking smart shots, getting back in the transition, and be ready to adjust. This team's looking to clinch tonight. They are lock and load, ready to do what their coach needs them to.
Yeah, exactly. Like you mentioned, a huge game for Chaminade because they are currently the top team in the NSC HSAA. And as you take a look at the standings, it's pretty easy for Chaminade. They win today. They clinch that number 1 spot and look at a repeat as champions in the Catholic League.
Yeah, and then it's pretty knotted up after that. St. Anthony's, Holy Trinity, St. John the Baptist, even Kellenberg in there, all of them fighting for a spot to try to get into a good playoff position. But tonight can be Chaminade's night to move forward and lock it.
So as we stay here as well, and it's an interesting thing because when you look at Chaminade as a whole, when they're hitting their shots, there's no better team. at all. And you know what? As we're meeting the players, and there you see Dan Feeney, the head coach for Chaminade, of course, a representative of this prestigious high school. And there you see Mr. Feeney. You know, the funny thing about Dan is he's a basketball savant, had the opportunity to play in that Bob McKillop showcase Friday night. And as a part of that, they hosted Montverde Academy, which obviously is home of Cooper Flagg, the number one player in the country, headed to Duke before their game against Lehigh at Hofstra. And he said he had the opportunity to learn a lot in that day of sessions, learning from Kevin Boyle. But this is a guy that used to work with the Knicks, has been at Chaminade now for a while. I mean, you can't put a price on the experience that Chaminade is getting with him as their head coach.
It makes all the difference in the world. When you have a guy that not only knows the game, studies the game, but is embedded in the game, it's going to make a huge difference. And it also makes a difference when it comes to composure, when you call on those timeouts, bringing your team in the huddle. You know what to say. You just got to look in those boys' eyes, and you know exactly what words need to come out of your mouth to make sure you're getting the best out of them in that game.
And meanwhile, on the other side, there's Jake Ellis. He's in his sixth season overall with the athletic department, and he's a guy that feels as if he's got a band of brothers around him, and he says that this has been a pleasure to coach this year. He said, yeah, there hasn't been as many wins as we wanted, but still in a good position, battling for 500, and he's done an exceptional job for the Cougars in a very tight race in the NSCHSAA.
Yeah, Coach Ellis knows that he's got his hands full today, but he's faced adversity this year. He's one of those guys that gets these kids motivated, and he's a vocal leader. So, you know, Coach Ellis definitely is going to be prepared for tonight and prepared for a battle to try to claim that second spot underneath Chaminade.
It should be a fun battle as well as we get ready for the starting lineups. And St. John the Baptist, 11-8 overall, 4-5 in conference play. And, of course, we mentioned the two Williams brothers at the start of the contest. But as you take a look at the rest of the starting five as well, this is a crew that really packs a punch. Chris and Stevie Williams, obviously, but then you got Jaden Miller, Jean-Pierre Arnone, and DJ Lisbon, a three-headed monster. Lisbon getting the start today in place of the injured Jaden Miller.
Yeah, so they're going to look for Lisbon to do a lot on the court to replace Miller, but, I mean, we saw him stretching out before the game. Maybe Miller gets a shot to get in this game.
Check that. I meant to say Jeremiah Carter, the junior from North Babylon, battling a broken finger, but either way, yeah, this is what St. John the Baptist, as we get ready for their introduction here. And, you know, it's a feisty team. It's a team that can get up and down the floor. And because of that, they're staying in games and they defend really well as well. And, you know, it's the old adage when it comes to basketball, winning championships is precluded by their defense. St. John the Baptist is usually in a lot of games because of their defense.
Absolutely. Very good defensive team. And then, again, on the offensive side, looking to try to dominate underneath the boards. You saw Arnone's name up there. One of the guys they're counting on to hit those threes, try to find him out in the corner and open up the game a little bit. Try to keep Chaminade on their toes defensively in this game, but this team's ready to roll.
There's Stevie Williams, the emotional leader, as Arnone gets set to go. And Arnone, a presence down low, did a fantastic job against St. Dom's a week ago, finishing in double figures and had double-figure rebounds. So that's the starting lineup for the Cougars. Now for the Flyers. As we mentioned, the two Dillon brothers. You've got Cam Elliott, Richard Gunther, and Joe Nouse. This is a very experienced team from an athletic year standpoint, but didn't get a lot of experience last year. So this is really a lot of first-year starters punctuated by the Dillon brothers, Cam Elliott, and Joe Nouse, the other seniors in the starting lineup.
Yeah, quite a bit of experience in there as far as seniors go. These are guys that are used to being out on this court. They've been with this team for a little bit. Gunther, 6'2", the guard out of Valley Stream, one of the guys that can get things done underneath the net. And then, like you said, Cameron Elliott contributing, only 5'10", but guy that can move the ball backing up and down the court. The Dillon brothers, we've spoken a little bit about them already, but they're going to speak for themselves out there on the court today, John.
And big Joe Nouse leading the way down low for Chaminade. We'll take a break here. Tip-off coming up next on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
At St. Francis Heart Center, we're not just regional heart experts. We share our greater success with the world. We don't just pioneer technology. We do it more than anywhere on Greater Long Island. And we don't just win awards. We deliver greater outcomes for people like you. As New York's only specialty designated cardiac center, we're not satisfied with just being good. This is Long Island. This is St. Francis Heart Center. And greater lives here.
Hey sports fans, did you know Varsity Media live stream broadcasts get viewed by college coaches nationwide? Through our announcers' storytelling and insight on your athletes, we can help your players get an edge on college recruiting. Find out how by reaching out to Varsity Media today, 516-403-2050, or email ben@varsitymedia.net.
Welcome you back to Chaminade High School and NSCHSAA Showdown featuring the St. John the Baptist Cougars and the Chaminade Flyers. He's Rob Anderson. I'm John Perez, and Chaminade coming in at 15-6 overall, 8-1 in divisional play, and a win today would be one of their goals, Rob, as they want to clinch the regular season title. They would do so with a win this afternoon and don't have to worry about any tiebreakers or anything. They will be the defending champs going into the tournament as the number 1 seed again. And as we mentioned, Chaminade and its history too. Let's bring up a little history on Chaminade as well. And I know it's a huge paragraph here. I'm not going to read it all for you, but Vincent Albrecht, principal at St. John the Baptist, and then first year as well. Number 1 best Catholic high school in Nassau County. Number 1 out of 4 all-boys high school. And number 3 out of 79. The best high schools for athletes in Nassau County. You know what you're getting at Chaminade. So Chaminade in the home whites and St. John the Baptist in the road reds as DJ Lisbon and Joe Nouse to tap it up. Our officials tonight, Greg DeCesar, Anthony Camerata, and Marty Gately. As Chaminade right off the jump, Cam Elliott misses the runner. And the Cougars grab the rebound.
Yeah, nice tip there by Nouse to get the ball to Dillon and get the ball to the net quickly, but a good defensive play there by the Cougars.
Stevie Williams spots up from 3. He's not afraid to drill it as he knocks in the 3 in the first 3 of the evening for the Cougars.
Hand pump there, like I've been there and done that, and the team looks calm and collected out of the gate. Both of them showing a lot of poise.
He's been shooting 35% from distance over his last 4 games and really starting to feel it. Here's Kyle Dillon, drive to the basket, and the sophomore is denied. Chris Williams out of the fray.
Little contact there by Lisbon, not called. Looked like Dillon was looking for it, though.
Like we mentioned in the open, DJ Lisbon getting the start today with the absence in the starting lineup of Jeremiah Carter dealing with a broken finger. All right, check that, Jaden Miller. I apologize. Arnone spots up from 3. That's no good. And now Chaminade the other way as Ricky Gunther. He was battling a stomach bug last week, starting to feel a little bit better. 3 ball, Devin Dillon, bingo.
So far, 2 threes exchanged here. And the score tied up at 3 as Devin Dillon, again, making it look easy. Yeah, John, you were talking earlier. They train these kids to drain those threes these days.
Well, and what's interesting about Chaminade, and speaking to Jake Ellis, Sal Logano, as well as Coach Confrey over at Holy Trinity, they said, you know that Chaminade's going to hit their threes. You're just going to have to match them, and there's really no ifs, ands, or buts about it. But how about the job by Carter to get into the lane and pick up his first deuce of the evening?
Yeah, took a few elbows on his way in, but found his way to the net, under the net, and it's 5-3 in favor of the Cougars.
Carter technically the leading scorer, despite the fact that he takes the 3rd most shots on the team. As the net is adjusted by Marty Gately.
Good job by referee Gately. Under pressure, getting the ball in the net.
Not all heroes wear capes.
Some wear stripes.
Williams to Carter. And now Stevie Williams picked up by Kyle Dillon. Drives inside on Nouse, reverse layup. Too much English. And Nouse the rebound.
Good attempt there, and a nice job by Nouse to get his body on him.
Naus leads the team with 6.2 rebounds per contest as Elliott is doubled and freed up top to Devin Dillon. Nice move on Arnone in the finish. We're tied at 5.
Yeah, really nice spin move up there to get that ball in the net. And as you were saying earlier, you take a look at Naus. He's just so much bigger than the other guys out there at 6'5", senior from Copeg.
Williams, the pull-up mid-range, book it. That's the one thing about both Williams brothers. They're not afraid to take the shot. Nice reverse layup as Ricky Gunther gets his first field goal of the evening.
We got a lot of action out of the gate so far. See if these teams start tightening up on the defense.
And just 2 combined threes. Which, if that's a microcosm of what this game is going to be, St. John the Baptist will sign up for it every day of the week.
Yeah, try to create a little bit more of a physical presence underneath the net like that.
Carter high off the window, no good, and Naus with the second board of the quarter. Snaps up ahead, short hop, Elliott. To the cutting Gunther, and then flips it. Kyle Dillon. Naus from 3, short.
Yeah, it looked like Kyle Dillon was thinking about it when it was in his hands and then dished it off to Naus.
Rob, you can see with that crisp ball movement, too, why Chaminade is so hard to key in on.
Oh, yeah, it was and honestly, when you took a look at it, it looked like Gunther was going to the net, and instead, just a really pretty pass.
Elliott, behind the back pass, reverse layup is good. Pretty play, Devin Dillon the finish.
Yeah, that one makes the highlight reel, John, without a doubt. Devin Dillon finishing the job, but a pretty no-look pass. Getting some great action so far.
Well, this could be a precursor to the finals, and of course, depending on seeding, and St. John the Baptist would love to finish in the top 3 in the NSC HSAA. One and done for SJB. The ball out of bounds. Last touch by Chaminade, and the Cougars with a fresh 35 to play with.
A lot of energy out of the gate by both of these teams. We'll see what happens when it slows down. You know, first quarters a lot of times are not indicative of the duration of the game. When the coaches make their adjustments on the court defensively.
Williams hoist and hits. Christian Williams with 5 in the first. Cougars go up by 1. Floater, Gunther off the mark. Rob, you have to wonder, too, especially with both of these schools in the winter recess this week, if there's some extra energy of sleeping in and you don't have that full day of classes and then practice and that repetitive nature.
Yeah, and you're still practicing. You know, you're probably getting better court time. Coaches bringing you in the early mornings. You can get in a longer session.
Elliott, the blow-by. Not that time. Arnone, the rebound.
This winter break's always a great time for these teams to reset, organize, especially teams that are heading on to the playoffs and tournaments.
Well, and both of these teams with an arduous out-of-conference schedule as Williams drills in the 3.
Man, he's on fire today.
Stevie Williams with 6, his second triple. And the Cougars have opened it up to a 4-point lead.
And both of those threes effortless and, just beautiful shots.
Devin Dillon's made three-point shooting look easy this year, but he can't connect. Williams not afraid to initiate contact, and now Chris Williams will hand it off to Carter. Slapped away by Devin Dillon, and Chris Williams with 16 to shoot. From the elbow, accelerates, finger roll, not that time. Tap attempt by Arnone. Misfires as well. Gunther, up and under, no sir, but a foul. As that'll be the first on Lisbon and the first foul of the night.
And Gunther again making that drive to the net.
We mentioned that Gunther was dealing with a stomach bug as we take a replay, and Gunther moving a lot better, though, unable to get the finish, however.
That foul looked like it was more a product of Gunther's movement than a hard foul. Little incidental contact under there, but Lisbon gets one, and one for the team. First of the game, like you said.
Jack Connolly, the senior from Manhasset, checks in for Chaminade. Arnone running the floor well. Blows by Naus for the bucket.
Really nice play by the big man driving to the net there. And it's now a 5-point lead. Not for long.
Elliott drills it. He's been the leading scorer for the Flyers over the last 4 games, averaging 18 points per contest. As Chris Williams coughs it up to the deck, it's Dillon. But Devin Dillon gives it away. Chris Williams denied. Naus with the rejection.
Yeah, and I guess a clean play, getting the ball there. Nothing called.
Elliott defers on a 3, now takes the shot. Bingo! And just like that, Chaminade comes flying back, and they take a 1-point lead.
Hey, he took the words right out of my mouth there. 2 threes. Like you said, it's what Chaminade does. They start getting hot with the threes. They're going to be tough to beat.
6 unanswered points by the Flyers and Cam Elliott. And now here's Carter. Not that time.
Man, they took a lot of time to set that up. I'm surprised. I guess he saw a lane, decided to go.
Elliott, heat check. No, sir. And now with the shot clock turned off, St. John's can hold for 1. It's been a fun pace in the opening quarter. There's Lisbon off to Jeremiah Carter. Stevie Williams. Who else is going to take the last shot? Off the heel, and that does it. 1 quarter in the books. Chaminade with a 16-15 lead over SJB. You're watching NSCHSAA basketball on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
This is Jalen Brunson. You're watching Varsity Media.
At St. Francis Heart Center, we're not just regional heart experts. We share our greater success with the world. We don't just pioneer technology. We do it more than anywhere on Greater Long Island. And we don't just win awards. We deliver greater outcomes for people like you. As New York's only specialty designated cardiac center, we're not satisfied with just being good. This is Long Island. This is St. Francis Heart Center. And greater lives here.
Start of the second quarter here on the Varsity Media Sports Network. Cam Elliott with 6 unanswered points. He was feeling it from downtown, Rob, as Chaminade was trailing by 3, and now they go ahead by 1 starting the second quarter.
Yeah, an absolutely incredible shot here as it's set up. Nothing but time and space when Naus gives it back to him. And with ease, that ball goes into the net. And like you say, 2 unanswered. And just when it looked like St. John the Baptist was having some kind of a momentum, holding on to this lead, it just took 2 threes from Elliott. And now in the driver's seat, Chaminade. Close game, though, and a lot of action so far, John.
Well, and St. John the Baptist did a good job of closing out defensively in that first quarter, too, as Chaminade not shooting as well as they normally do and had the Flyers a little bit off their game.
Yeah, absolutely. There's no doubt about it. You just don't want to give him space. Like, you know, both of Elliott's shots, he had time.
Carter, bad pass, taken away. This is Sal Salamone, the junior from Whitestone, with the lay-in.
And I don't know how that went in. Look, there was a hand in his face. Muscled his way through there into the net.
Salamone usually one of the first players off the bench for Chaminade. There was only 1 sub in that first quarter, but when he comes in, he normally is a spark plug, and it's on full display on his first defensive sequence. Stevie Williams over Salamone. The bucket's good.
And Williams asserting himself again, and like you said, with Salamone, he is one of those guys out there that's a tough role player.
Dillon a 3 off the mark as Stevie Williams leads the way for SJB with 8 points.
Yeah, Cougars doing a good job so far containing those Dillons. Maybe spending a little too much energy on there, and that's why Elliott's getting some space.
Williams, the hezzy, lost it. Nice move, snapped ahead. Connolly to the cutting Naus. Joe Naus, the senior, with his first field goal of the quarter. And SJB calls a quick 30-second timeout as Chaminade extending to a 3-point lead. And while we have a break in the action, I'd like to let you know that Varsity Media this winter has partnered with Gipper, the #1 social media content creation for athletic programs, with thousands of the best social media sports graphic templates, social media automation, AI-powered one-click background remover, and, of course, a mobile app. To learn more today, go to Gipper.com. Take another look at that last sequence, and that's how you got to stop Stevie Williams as a team collectively.
Yeah, without a doubt. But I'm taking a look at this timeout, and I got to think that timeout is not just a momentum timeout, but on that play, Williams was upset. A lot of hands on him there. He got up. He didn't even play defense. He just walked over his coach, hands up, very aggravated. He did get assaulted on the way in, but if nothing's called, you got to run back and do what you got to do. So that timeout probably a let's calm down, let's reset, don't give them this kind of momentum, and also to get their star player in check.
Take a look at Salamone and Naus in there as well. Salamone's 6'4", Naus is 6'5", but they've got great wingspans, and they step in the passing lanes and make it difficult for other teams' wings. Arnone on the block. Naus picks him up. Out of bounds. It'll stay with the Cougars, 21 to shoot.
And it looks like Devin Dillon's going to re-enter this game, taking out Naus, giving the big man a blow.
And not a knock on Naus, but this is when Chaminade can be dangerous when they go small. As they pound inside, Arnone takes advantage of the height advantage.
And Chaminade back up by 1. Nice pass there.
Floater short, as Devin Dillon can't find a shot in the second quarter.
And again, just in the little plays, John, you can see that physicality of Steven Williams. Like, he got that ball, turned his hip, and just bounced the white jersey off his backside. Big, strong guy.
I love his handles. I think that's one of the fun things to watch as Lisbon blows the layup. And curled up ahead, this is Kyle Dillon. Connolly driving to the basket, and the senior scores.
Nice job by Connolly to find a lane, drive to it, and finish. It's kind of what Gunther was trying to do a little earlier.
Connolly 5 points in the win over Holy Trinity Friday night. Of course, that was the precursor to the Montverde-Lehigh game as Carter knocks in the triple.
Yeah, Jeremiah Carter showing a lot of composure there, and this game's knotted at 22.
Cougars will slow it down, tied at 22.
It's really a great pace to this game so far. It's close. Other than that one timeout call by St. John the Baptist, hasn't really been a need. And, oh, look at that shot there by Jeremiah Carter, back-to-back.
Carter, a 33% three-point shooter, now with 8 points in the first half as the Cougars go up by a triple. A tie-up. And it should stay on that end. Good job in there by DJ Lisbon. You can see him playing inspired ball as he's in the starting 5 tonight.
Yeah, Lisbon did a great job getting his arms in there and getting that jump ball, initiating that jump ball. And during that time, Richard Gunther back in the game for Chaminade.
Scoop layup, book it. Kyle Dillon, the sophomore, averaging 14 points a game. Had a baker's dozen against Holy Trinity Friday night. Williams slips it. Arnone didn't handle it cleanly and then lost the ball.
Yeah, I don't think he was expecting that one.
Gunther, he runs the floor well and finishes with the left hand.
This game is back and forth. Just erase those 2 threes by Carter.
Gunther with 5 points as Chaminade starting to run the floor well as Feeney takes a quick takes a full timeout for Chaminade. I thought he took a 30, but it'll be a full timeout. And, you know, we talked a lot about Chaminade and the school history. Well, what about St. John the Baptist and, you know, their history as well? And take a look at St. John the Baptist. Greg Mortarelli, Dean of Students, JV soccer and winter track and field. And then based on students, so this is where you know it counts, at the ballot box, obviously in an election year. Pep Rallies, Decade Days, Spirit Weeks, 3 favorite school events. Did you have a favorite of those days or any day in high school?
When I was in high school, we didn't have Decades Day.
No.
But I think I was in a decade when we weren't doing that kind of thing. Spirit Week was always fun, though.
Well, to be fair, you were in school during the first decade.
Yes, I was. I was in there in the 80s and 90s. What about you?
Well, 2010s, pep rally. Anytime that we got off early, that was the best day. And Logan O'Hoppe, one of the starters for Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. He is one of those Angels that wants to play this year.
Yeah, he's a stud. I mean, that kid, I'm glad you brought it up because I'll be looking to add him to my fantasy team this year. That guy's a real good ball player. Had an unfortunate injury last year that kind of ended the season early, but when he came up, he was on fire.
Carter thought about throwing the home run pass, and now he'll escort the ball across the timeline. Draws a double, Williams. Nice job, Gunther. Gets to the passing lane for the interception.
Yeah, really impressive there. Gunther's extremely athletic.
Connolly tried the no-look pass. This leads to bodies on the floor. A tie-up. And St. John the Baptist will have possession. Gotta love the hustle by DJ Lisbon, the recent post-football commit.
And Gunther there, right in the middle of it as well. Feeney not too happy about whatever went on there. Maybe he thought it was a little more contact than necessary.
Williams to the corner. Lisbon, a three. Short. Arnaud, the offensive rebound. St. John the Baptist, knowing the time's on their side, they don't have to rush anything. Carter drills it. Third triple for Carter. He's got 11 in the first half as the Cougars are cooking.
He's absolutely on fire right now in that three-point range. Chaminade's going to want to find an answer.
Kyle Dillon, the curl, reverse layup, cash.
Heck of a shot there. Again, you just got to commend how athletic this team is. They make some fantastic plays. They find the lanes, find the space. And there he is. But off this time, Carter.
I haven't seen 3 threes in a row as Dillon the blow-by. Devin Dillon with 9.
It's hard to follow the momentum of this game. Every time it looks like one team's getting a little bit of a lead, starting to control the ball, all of a sudden the other one comes around and probably hits a 3.
Williams fall away off the mark. Kyle Dillon the rebound. Kyle averaging 4 boards per game as Connolly, a 3, swirls out. Williams to Lisbon. Starts in third gear. The drop-off are known and a blocking foul. As that'll be the first Chaminade foul.
Kyle Dillon?
Yep.
Okay.
Check that. Just 2 total fouls now in the game. As Jack Connolly goes to the bench, Joe Nouse returns.
And it is a clean game, and I guess, again, you're watching both teams playing really spread out, using the perimeter well. It's not getting filthy under the net.
Arnaud, he'll let it fly. Short. 2 minutes to play first half. Chaminade leads it by 2. Dillon hit a couple of threes in the first quarter and picks up right where he left off. 9 for Elliott in the first half. How about an answer back?
There it is.
Will Daly, the junior from Lindenhurst, with the soft touch. Not that time. Both teams are feeling it, and you can only imagine how infectious it is on the floor, Rob.
Oh, without a doubt right now. It's just back and forth. They're very confident shooting those threes. A lot of space. Waiting again for the defense to tighten up as the game goes on. And Stevie Williams ready to get back in this game. A really nice defensive play there by Kyle Dillon.
Nouse's 3 is blocked by Arnaud. And 29 to shoot for the Flyers as Stevie Williams returns for GP Arnaud. But Nouse not afraid to let it go either.
No, he's not at all. For a big guy, he's taken 2-3 shots today.
Nice cut to the basket.
Showing that speed again. Devin Dillon this time.
Devin Dillon with 11 points in the first half. Kyle Dillon lost the handle. Nouse thought about it. Jab step and a travel.
Yeah. Definitely a travel there. You know, for all the three-pointers that Chaminade's capable of, they do a great job right now because St. John the Baptist is giving them space, driving to the net, using that athleticism, finding the guy with the ball. Some great passes.
Williams, Daly looks for another three. Long rebound, and the shot clock turned off for the Flyers. Elliott to Gunther. Shot altered by Lisbon, and then a foul. So Gunther, the double whammy.
Yeah, I couldn't tell if Lisbon got a hand on it or not, but definitely got involved in that play. Salamone re-enters the game, probably for some defensive purposes here for Chaminade.
4-point lead for the Flyers. Stevie Williams to trigger it in. Against his vaunted Chaminade press. Lofted to Carter. Gets it across the timeline. Williams. Now a 3-on-1. Williams taking on Salamone. Banks it in.
I got to tell you, that pass had eyes to find Christian Williams and some great hands there to finish that up.
Elliott with 9 points in the first half. Off the mark on a three. Ball goes out of bounds as time expires, and that does it. St. John the Baptist with a score before the half, but it is Chaminade with a 2-point edge. 16 minutes in the books. Rob, it's been a fun one. We'll take a break here. When we come back, we'll recap the first half and get you caught up for the second half. You're watching NSC HSAA basketball on the Varsity Media Sports Network. You're watching Varsity Media, New York's high school sports network.
At St. Francis Heart Center, we're not just regional heart experts. We share our greater success with the world. We don't just pioneer technology. We do it more than anywhere on Greater Long Island. And we don't just win awards. We deliver greater outcomes for people like you. As New York's only specialty designated cardiac center, we're not satisfied with just being good. This is Long Island. This is St. Francis Heart Center. And greater lives here.
Are you a local business looking for new and creative ways to promote your company? Varsity Media offers affordable rates that can get your message across to a demographic of 18 to 54 years of age. Our follower base across social media is over 50,000 strong, and our viewership numbers per game are in the thousands. Don't blow your advertising budget on old staples like TV and radio media. Reach out to Varsity Media to get the best bang for your buck.
Hey sports fans, did you know Varsity Media live stream broadcasts get viewed by college coaches nationwide? Through our announcers' storytelling and insight on your athletes, we can help your players get an edge on college recruiting. Find out how by reaching out to Varsity Media today, 516-403-2050, or email ben@varsitymedia.net. Varsity Media offers live streaming services for any sport. With human beings behind the camera, you can expect the proper coverage angles during each game. We offer customizable options such as live scoreboard, multiple cameras, instant replay, graphics, and even announcers. Find out how you can save $100 off a live stream package with Varsity Media by calling 516-403-2050 or email ben@varsitymedia.net.
At St. Francis Heart Center, we're not just regional heart experts. We share our greater success with the world. We don't just pioneer technology. We do it more than anywhere on Greater Long Island. And we don't just win awards. We deliver greater outcomes for people like you. As New York's only specialty designated cardiac center, we're not satisfied with just being good. This is Long Island. This is St. Francis Heart Center. And greater lives here.
High school sports fans, are you following Varsity Media on our YouTube channel? For the best coverage of New York high school sports, make sure you head to youtube.com/varsitymedia. 3 easy steps. First, hit that like button, and then be sure to subscribe. And finally, tap that yellow bell to be notified of all of our upcoming sportscasts. Thank you for following Varsity Media on YouTube.
Feel like your game film is too stagnant and not providing you with the insight that your coaches had hoped for? Varsity Media offers game film to help your coaches develop a game plan to execute on game day. Our current clients love the Varsity Media difference, which includes more insightful camera angles and a speedy upload process. Start building your championship team today with award-winning individuals at Varsity Media. Looking to grow your business on social media? Let Varsity Media help you. With over 50,000 followers across our platform, sponsor a segment during the broadcast and share it on social media the next day. It's the best of both worlds, as you'll get thousands of plays and your ad will live on the broadcast forever. Contact us today for sponsorship packages by calling 917-470-0864 or emailing varsitymediasponsors@gmail.com. Did you just have the best athletic year of your life? And now you want to show it off to college coaches? Well, let Varsity Media help you. Varsity Media's college recruiting videos show off your unique skills to help you land a spot on the team of your dream school. We'll provide music, spot shadow effects, and a link to send to your next coach. Contact us today for more information. Don't rely on word of mouth or cold emails. Let Varsity Media help you take your game to the next level. You're watching Varsity Media, New York's high school sports network.
At St. Francis Heart Center, we're not just regional heart experts. We share our greater success with the world. We don't just pioneer technology. We do it more than anywhere on Greater Long Island. And we don't just win awards. We deliver greater outcomes for people like you. As New York's only specialty designated cardiac center, we're not satisfied with just being good. This is Long Island. This is St. Francis Heart Center. And greater lives here.
Are you a local business looking for new and creative ways to promote your company? Varsity Media offers affordable rates that can get your message across to a demographic of 18 to 54 years of age. Our follower base across social media is over 50,000 strong, and our viewership numbers per game are in the thousands. Don't blow your advertising budget on old staples like TV and radio media. Reach out to Varsity Media to get the best bang for your buck.
Hey sports fans, did you know Varsity Media live stream broadcasts get viewed by college coaches nationwide? Through our announcers' storytelling and insight on your athletes, we can help your players get an edge on college recruiting. Find out how by reaching out to Varsity Media today, 516-403-2050, or email ben@varsitymedia.net. Varsity Media offers live streaming services for any sport. With human beings behind the camera, you can expect the proper coverage angles during each game. We offer customizable options such as live scoreboard, multiple cameras, instant replay, graphics, and even announcers. Find out how you can save $100 off a live stream package with Varsity Media by calling 516-403-2050 or email ben@varsitymedia.net.
At St. Francis Heart Center, we're not just regional heart experts. We share our greater success with the world. We don't just pioneer technology. We do it more than anywhere on Greater Long Island. And we don't just win awards. We deliver greater outcomes for people like you. As New York's only specialty designated cardiac center, we're not satisfied with just being good. This is Long Island. This is St. Francis Heart Center. And greater lives here.
High school sports fans, are you following Varsity Media on our YouTube channel? For the best coverage of New York high school sports, make sure you head to youtube.com/varsitymedia. 3 easy steps. First, hit that like button, and then be sure to subscribe. And finally, tap that yellow bell to be notified of all of our upcoming sportscasts. Thank you for following Varsity Media on YouTube.
Feel like your game film is too stagnant and not providing you with the insight that your coaches had hoped for? Varsity Media offers game film to help your coaches develop a game plan to execute on game day. Our current clients love the Varsity Media difference, which includes more insightful camera angles and a speedy upload process. Start building your championship team today with award-winning individuals at Varsity Media. Welcome you back for the start of the second half. Chaminade with a 35-33 lead over St. John the Baptist. He's Rob Anderson. I'm John Perez. And, Rob, I'll have you put your coach's hat on. I don't know what you're saying in that locker room because the ball movement was good. Both teams are hitting their shots. Maybe defensively, what do you want to see out of both of these teams?
Yeah, I would imagine with St. John the Baptist, maybe get a little more, muck it up a little bit, get a little more dirty, make them feel the physical presence that St. John the Baptist can bring. As far as Chaminade, shut down those threes. I don't think they were expecting them. I think they were expecting this game to be in increments of 2, but they've got to play that perimeter a little better and obviously hone in on Carter, who's had quite the night with the three-pointers.
Yeah, Jeremiah Carter led the way for the Cougars. He had 11 points. Cam Elliott knocked in 3 threes, but he's not the high man for Chaminade. It is Devin Dillon, one of our feature players. He leads the way with 11 as well as St. John the Baptist doing a good job. They shut down Kyle Dillon, the leading scorer for Chaminade, but, you know, if you got 2 Dillons on the floor, it's hard to stop both of them. So that's what the rest of the Catholic League has found out. But either way, here's Kyle Dillon, the sophomore. We'll start it off for the Flyers, looking to clinch the regular season title with a win tonight. Cam Elliott, the drive, floater, teardrop, doesn't get the roll. Ricky Gunther, the offensive board, and a fresh 35 for Chaminade. Not that time as Dillon once again struggling. Kyle Dillon, I'm not sure he's had a game this year where he has not been able to turn it on offensively.
Yeah, and it looks like they're putting some pressure on him. They're making him a little uneasy, but it's not too much.
Jeremiah Carter doesn't get the friendly roll either as here's Devin Dillon, the drive baseline. Elliott gets it right back, and Devin Dillon in the right place at the right time with a baker's dozen.
Yeah, really nice dish there by Elliott to get it back underneath the net. And it's really Elliott's kind of taking the place of Kyle Dillon tonight.
Well, Elliott, a senior from Amityville, and what a story he's been. He missed 2/3 of the season last year with a hip injury, fell out of the rotation, starting to get his legs back this year, and is finally, at least how he can put it, at 100%. From just, you know, those hip injuries are so devastating. There's a turnover. And Chaminade's called for steps.
Yeah, probably one of the most underrated and not looked at injuries in sports, which is why yoga has become more a part of the game in pre-workouts, focusing on stretching hips out. Young people don't think they got to worry about their hips till they're my age.
Well, you're 100% right, and sometimes if you don't stretch, that's how you pull things and you're out for a long period of time. It's funny because you'll look at 8-minute quarters and say, okay, this game is so fast. But when you're in it, it's anything but. Stevie Williams underneath. No, Arnone cleans it up.
Really nice job there to clean it up by Arnone. And I believe that's his first 2 of the game, no?
No, it was 3rd. First of the half, but
first of the half.
There's Devin Dillon again. It's been the Devin Dillon show offensively tonight for Chaminade.
Yeah, really nice job there putting up that 3. And again, back and forth game. A lot of space in this game.
Yeah, speaking of space, Lisbon has plenty of it. Hooks it underneath. Arnone. High off the window and in.
Yeah, they're just planting Arnone underneath that net, and he's been cleaning it up using his size there. I wonder if Nouse is going to start getting a little more physical with him.
Lisbon, nice hands by Elliott, but then a foul.
Yeah, it's going to be against Elliott getting the hand on the arm. But that's a good foul. Looked like it was going to be an easy 2. Now you put him at the line and see what he can do. And again, here's the replay. Up, and yeah, some contact there. Hit the arm for sure, but again, they'd rather have him at the line.
Greg DeCesar all over it as Lisbon cans the first free throw. Well, we know what DJ Lisbon can do on the gridiron. And congratulations to him officially committing to Post University to play football at the next level. The senior from Westbury was always seen as someone who was overshadowed by other players in a diamond in the rough. Well, that's what the Post Eagles will have with DJ Lisbon as he plays football at the next level. And oh, by the way, he knocked in both of his free throws.
Knocked in both of his free throws.
Meanwhile, Dillon's knocking in everything.
Yeah, they're going to have to start locking in on that one.
17 points for Devin Dillon. Arnone. Here's Chris Williams. Lisbon thought about it and curls it back out to Williams. Lets it fly. Can't connect. Elliott the rebound.
Yeah, looking for a really deep 3 there. And no presence underneath the net for St. John the Baptist, so Chaminade easily transitions.
Gunther walled off by Lisbon. Throws it up. No good. Lisbon that gets the carom.
Yeah, nobody there to get Gunther out of trouble once he planted those feet.
See if this gets Stephen Williams involved. Nice drop-off in Lisbon with his first field goal of the game. He's got 4.
Beautiful pass there by Williams. Looked like he was going to go right to the net. Saw that Lisbon was open, drew the attraction, and dished it off.
Nice backdoor cut, denied. As Kyle Dillon accelerating to the rim.
Arnone?
Yep.
Yep.
So Arnone will pick up his first as we take another look.
And a really great camera angle here. Yeah, some contact on the way up. Maybe sold a little bit there by Kyle Dillon, but he's going to have an opportunity to shoot 2. And 1 for 1.
Kyle Dillon, one of those players that never backs down from a challenge. This year, Chaminade playing St. Ray's and Lehigh. He held his own against Ty Turnage, of course, an all-first teamer for the CHSAA in the city, and we'll see him later on. But drew a lot of comparisons to Mike O'Connell and is a score-first point guard. We haven't seen him scoring a lot tonight, but is contributing in other ways, Rob.
Yeah, without a doubt. He's drawing a lot of attention. He's playing very well defensively, and he just knocked in 2 free throws like he had his eyes closed.
Kyle Dillon with 6. Arnone heating up in the second half.
They are using him really well. He's underneath the net with no pressure whatsoever.
He's in double figures with 10. Gunther and Lisbon. Aggressive defense forces the turnover. Lisbon pulls it back out. He'll hoist. Can't connect. There's Arnone for another possession. Lisbon can't finish. And Nouse gets the rebound.
Let me tell you, Arnone saw that from the half. He turned on the Jets.
How about Gunther over Williams?
Beautiful play there. But that was just, it looked like Arnone was transitioning. He was jogging, and then it looked like the pressure was going. He ran down there to make sure he was getting that rebound. He's playing fantastic in the second half.
Gunther with 7. As here's Williams. Try to go back door. Williams off the deflection. Chris Williams finishes. Williams with 9. 2:35 to play. Here's a 3. Dillon clanks it. Rebound, Lisbon.
Yeah, Lisbon brought that one down cleanly. I feel like Kyle Dillon's just waiting to heat up.
Carter off the mark. Jeremiah Carter knocked in 3 threes in the first half. Nouse, good ball fake. Lets it fly. Short, and there's Lisbon. His third straight rebound. He's been a monster on the glass.
Yeah, both ends. I mean, Lisbon's been getting those hops on the offensive side, on the defensive side.
Foul on the floor is going to go to Cam Elliott, his second, and the team's second of the quarter. As Jack Connolly will return, and first appearance of the evening for Michael Weedy, one of the best shooters coming off the bench for Mike Feeney's crew, wearing number 10 in white.
Weedy and Connolly both out of Manhasset.
Arnone to Williams. Stephen Williams, the drive, throws up a wild shot, doesn't get the foul call, and now here comes Chaminade. And then Chris Williams with the touch foul at half court. You know, that's been the one demerit to Stephen Williams is he plays with a lot of passion, but when it's not going his way, unfortunately, he's slow to get back, and sometimes his calls can be a detriment to his team, or the non-calls. But there's Carter, one-handed jam. And the Cougars go back in front.
Yeah, Carter making everything of that play. Swiping it, bringing it down. Yeah, Williams does need a few blows in this game, trying to get back. But also, you know, he was looking for a call, and he stayed on the floor waiting for that call to happen, and it didn't come. Not that he's a big boy, so he probably takes a lot of physicality that referees don't necessarily call on him. He doesn't flop, or he flops kind of late. But he is taking a little bit of a beating sometimes.
You remember all those years when Shaquille O'Neal was in the NBA and never got foul calls because he never moved when he got hit. Williams, though, draws the contact as he speeds to the basket. And Weedy off the bench picks up his first personal.
So a few more fouls in this third quarter than we saw prior.
Well, you're right, 3 total fouls in the first half, and now 5 in this quarter. Williams off on the free throw. Let's take another look at the foul.
Yeah, Arnone dishes it off. And I guess some light contact there, but enough to disrupt the play. And enough to get Christian Williams at the line.
Christian hits it. He'll go to the bench, and brother Stevie comes back on.
And just like that, it's the Cougars in the lead, 48-46. John, we are watching an action-packed, bouncing back and forth lead throughout this entire game. Not making it easy for Chaminade to try to clinch tonight.
Well, when you've got Devin Dillon, it makes things that much easier.
It does.
19 points for Dillon.
Young man's been very impressive this evening.
Arnone. 8-second differential between game and shot clock. Here's Carter. Foul on the floor. That's going to go to Connolly. Last foul to give for the Flyers in the third. As Chris Williams off Chris a quick respite. Comes back on. Will Daly to the bench.
And as you said, 4 fouls, only 28.9 seconds remaining in the third quarter, so we're probably not going to get to 5. Well, we hope not. Chaminade hopes not.
Well, St. John the Baptist normally a good free throw shooting team, but they have not had the repetitions tonight so far, so you could throw that out the window. 10 seconds to play, third quarter. Off the handoff. Carter explodes to the basket, can't finish. Arnone battling underneath.
He's absolutely sensational.
2 seconds. Weedy at the horn. In and out.
Looking to be a hero there, Weedy, but Arnone, really the story of that third quarter for St. John the Baptist. And the story for Chaminade still Devin Dillon, but Arnone playing a fantastic game, and it's 50-48 in favor of the visitor.
GP with 12. We go to the fourth on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Hey, it's Isaiah Hartenstein. You're watching Varsity Media.
Hey sports fans, did you know Varsity Media live stream broadcasts get viewed by college coaches nationwide? Through our announcers' storytelling and insight on your athletes, we can help your players get an edge on college recruiting. Find out how by reaching out to Varsity Media today, 516-403-2050, or email ben@varsitymedia.net.
We head to the fourth. It's been a nip and tuck game, but it is the visiting St. John the Baptist Cougars with a 50-48 lead, thanks in part to their big man down low, GP Arnone.
Yeah, Arnone, just a sensational third quarter there, making his presence felt under the net, not really being challenged, pulling down rebounds with ease, but then the wherewithal to get that ball up in the net. Here's Arnone controlling the play, and just watch the intuition to challenge, go to the net, up in the air, pulls it down, back up again, using that size, using that strength, boxing out.
There's 5 total players in that area, and somehow he's able to snatch the rebound.
He's using his strength. He's leaning into the players and boxing out well. But again, he set that whole play up. That play was not intended for him. But if you watch, he's got a nose for the net. He just hawks that thing. The minute the ball's going there, he makes sure he's under it. Very impressed with him.
Stephen Williams gets it across half court against Devin Dillon, who leads all scorers with 19 points. Chris Williams to Arnone. Williams with some space. Hit some threes in the first quarter, but attacks the basket. Reverse layup no good. Chris Williams fouled from behind.
Yeah, that was an easy one to call. That slap there, that was Weedy. His second of the game and the first of the quarter for Chaminade. And I believe this is the second time Weedy's putting Christian Williams to the line.
100%. And here is Williams, speaking of percentages, a 79% free throw shooter. Hit his pair at the end of the third quarter and continues the consistency. And we'll take another look at the foul.
Arnone getting it to Williams. Williams trying to put in a savvy little move there. And as the ball came down, the foul. And that's 2 for 2 for Christian Williams. So Williams winning the battle between him and Weedy so far.
13 for Christian Williams. Sal Salamone to Weedy. That's what he can do. Shoot it. Doesn't drill it. The tap back. Devin Dillon with blackjack. He's got 21.
My goodness. They really need to find an answer for Devin. The older brother asserting himself today. I like it. I'm an older brother, John. Sometimes we got to come out.
I agree. Same here. Stephen Williams with some space. Not that time. Weedy looks for the triple. Yes, sir.
Good look there. Unselfish. A nice pass by Salamone where he could have easily driven to the net, maybe even caused a little chaos, but a beautiful pass there, and Weedy sets and buries the three.
A drive and a foul on the floor as Carter penetrates inside.
Is that Connolly getting a second?
Yes, sir.
And Weedy's going to head to the bench with Salamone. And Nouse back in the game. And look at who Nouse is locked up with. Looking at Arnone.
Well, and that was the matchup within the matchups that we're really looking forward to as Christian Williams fall away off the back iron. Here's Cam Elliott. How about the job that SJB's done on Elliott? Since the first quarter, they've kept him silent.
Yeah, and that was one of the adjustments. You know, we said it. It's protect those threes, and they've paid a lot of attention to him. Devin Dillon doing most of the damage.
Elliott looks for his fourth three, not that time. Like we mentioned at the top of the broadcast, Chaminade with a win today would lock up the regular season title. Steve Williams fouled on the floor. That'll be the first foul on Devin Dillon in the team's third of the quarter.
That's going to bring Gunther back into the game and replacing Connolly. Yeah, racking up the fouls pretty early here, Chaminade. Nothing like the first 3 quarters.
Thrown into a tight window. Lisbon tried to save it, but goes right to the hands of Devin Dillon, who misses the layup.
Oh, boy.
A foul afterwards.
The foul on Carter bringing the ball down.
It'll be Carter's first. Let's take another look. Yeah, push on the back of Elliott, and then another foul quickly on the entry pass. That'll go to Arnone in back-to-back fouls against the Cougars.
That's Arnone's second of the game. But again, nobody in any realistic foul trouble right now. Couple twos up there.
Devin Dillon with some interest from SUNY schools at the Division III level, and I think would translate really well to the Skyline Conference, perhaps at Manhattanville or Merchant Marine, Farmingdale, Maritime. Those are all programs that could use a lockdown shooter like Dillon. But, of course, when you play at Chaminade, playing at the next level, comes with the level of the academics at the next university.
Absolutely. Probably more importantly.
Both Williams missed the layup, and Cam Elliott scoops it in.
Nice and easy there for Elliott to finish that job.
Elliott's got 11. The Flyers lead by 4. And a timeout taken by the Cougars. Jake Ellis has seen enough. Chaminade coming out and doing a good job of getting to the glass, defending well. As it is a fun week of basketball here on the Varsity Media Sports Network. And it continues Thursday night. Chaminade at St. Anthony's. We'll be on the call for that. And then Friday, Saturday, Sunday, all in New York City. Starting with Friday night, Brooklyn Queens Championship, the Final Four, not St. John the Baptist, St. Francis Prep, Christ the King, Nazareth, or Zavarian, and then the Archdiocese. Could be Stepanak, St. Ray's, or Hayes, or Scanlon. And then you've got tier basketball in the Tier 1 Archdiocesan at Christ the King, 4:30. And then at Christ the King, once again, 6 p.m. Sunday night. You don't want to miss it all, the action coming up on the Varsity Media Sports Network. Hey, that's us.
Hi, Mom.
There you go. We're fine. We'll be home for dinner, honey. You can start cooking. I don't know what's for dinner tonight. Whatever my wife made yesterday was amazing.
Yeah,
I'm not just saying that because sometimes,
Yeah. I don't get cooked for much, so yesterday was actually a good cooking day for me. Chicken with like a cream of mushroom thing on top.
Right, we had burritos. It was pepper jack cheese and chicken. Nobody cares. Either way, St. John the Baptist, with 3 minutes gone by, fourth quarter, looking to get back into this one against Chaminade. As the Flyers are looking for the top seed in the NSCHSAA, and Stevie Williams upset again on a missed layup.
Elliott, a nice job keeping that ball on the court and getting it to Devin Dillon. Gunther.
Bullseye.
Oh.
Right on the money for Ricky Gunther. His first 3 of the evening.
Really nice ball work there, too, to get the ball to Gunther. Sorry.
No, all good. Largest lead of the game for Chaminade with 4.5 to play in the fourth.
Hey, look at when they got that ball to now, so it looked like he kind of fumbled it, but just kind of did like a quick pass back to Dillon, who booted it out to Gunther, and really beautiful 3.
Connolly the kick out. Christian Williams. Cougars need it. Not that time. This is where Chaminade can start to deflate the tires. And it's so tough to keep in front of as the Cougars commit the foul. And that should be on Stevie Williams.
I believe it was. And Arnone checking back into the game.
Williams picks up his first, and the team's third of the quarter.
Both teams now with 3.
The drive, reverse layup, short. Devin Dillon with a rare miss. So Chaminade leaving the window open. The drive inside Carter. Boy, he's so athletic and bouncy.
Yeah, you can see the speed. You can see the athleticism. You understand why he's going to be moving on for football. those kind of wheels.
Carter with 14. Elliott, backdoor cut. Devin Dillon makes SJB pay.
I tell you, Devin Dillon is like the invisible man. He just kind of pops up in places out of nowhere, finds the ball in his mitts and buries it. He's incredible this evening.
23 points against the Cougars. Carter a 3. Off the mark.
They're going to have to settle down and start hitting those again, or start tightening it up underneath and look for those twos to drive to the net, because Chaminade just chipping away at that lead.
Well, Chaminade can afford to sit on the ball as Gunther and Kyle Dillon. Now to Elliott. A 3. Dagger.
Oh.
When Chaminade is rolling, there's no better team in the NSCHSAA. They can beat you in so many ways, but the number one option, they're lethal from distance.
Yeah, take a look at this thing again. A beautiful pass. And boom, shalaka-laka, boom, nothing but net. And you knew the timeout was going to happen. Coach Ellis probably going to be taking quite a few timeouts if they don't start picking up the pace. But what I loved is watching Coach Feeney on the sidelines. He just keeps them cool. There's no need to rush this. We're in control. And that's that experience you were talking about earlier.
And so there's Chaminade in the huddle, and let's just reset the scene again for Chaminade, who has run roughshod over the NSCHSAA. With the win today, the Chaminade Flyers would lock up the number 1 seed, but look at St. Anthony's, Holy Trinity, and St. John the Baptist still with a lot to play for, Rob.
Absolutely, and St. Anthony is going to face Chaminade on Thursday, so if St. John the Baptist can pull this out, 5-5, if not, falling to 4-6, puts them back in the pack with Dominic and Kellenberg. But if they lose today, St. Anthony's got the world at their fingertips if they can beat Chaminade on Thursday.
The way it is the Flyers have a 3-game lead with 3 games remaining in the regular season. So if you're going to go through the tiebreakers, it starts with the Chaminade loss, which, listen, crazier things have happened. But the Flyers in control now with a 10-point lead, 2.5 to play in the 4th. As the Cougars have their work cut out for them, and Jeremiah Carter yo-yos into the front court. Lisbon. Chris King makes his first appearance of the evening, wearing 25 in red. Carter off to Lisbon, draws the foul and one.
There you go.
Cougars not done yet. Lisbon trying to get himself going.
And here you can see Devin Dillon putting on some pressure. And then the foul there. Foul was called on Dillon, his second of the game. I thought it was on Nouse. But again, I think getting this game a little dirty will only help St. John's.
Leaves some space. Elliott, another 3. Just so many weapons for the Flyers.
5 threes? Good Lord.
With 17 points to boot, Williams knocks in the 3, and Jake Ellis calls a quick timeout, trying to reset his defense. And this will be a full timeout for St. John the Baptist, and we'll take it with them as well. 1:46 to play in the 4th on the Varsity Media Sports Network. You're watching Varsity Media, New York's premier high school sports network. Looking to grow your business on social media? Let Varsity Media help you. With over 50,000 followers across our platform, sponsor a segment during the broadcast and share it on social media the next day. It's the best of both worlds, as you'll get thousands of plays and your ad will live on the broadcast forever. Contact us today for sponsorship packages by calling 917-470-0864 or emailing varsitymediasponsors@gmail.com. Could start to feel it for Chaminade as St. John the Baptist had them on the ropes. They led 50-48 at the end of 3, but since then, it's been all Flyers and Dan Feeney looking for another regular season title. And what a job he's done this year for Chaminade, and as they look to repeat in the Catholic League.
Yeah, it seemed like St. John the Baptist was lights out with the threes early on. Carter hitting a whole bunch of them, and they're having a little bit of a struggle trying to hit those.
Stevie Williams going to get called for the push.
That's his second of the game. And now both teams with 4 fouls. So we'll be going to the line if any more committed.
Elliott and Williams jostling. $1:30 to play in the fourth.
And again, Chaminade just slowing this game down.
Elliott trying to draw contact from Williams.
I have a feeling we're going to see a lot more contact soon.
I don't know, Rob. Here's Gunther penetrating, and there is the foul. And that'll put the Flyers on the line. Chris King picks up his first.
Yeah, King not too pleased with that, but a call nonetheless, and that's number 5. And now Chaminade will be shooting too. And again, this is why I think you're going to see a lot of fouls. They're just going to keep putting them to the line, and try to get something going on the other side of the court.
Gunther drills the first one, and what a game for Gunther. As well as he's got 11 points, 1 more free throw pending. Chris King goes to the bench. But Gunther, an 87% free throw shooter, hits them both. And Chaminade leads by 10, although with the way the first 3 quarters are going, you wouldn't think that either team would have a double-digit lead. Williams drives inside and the lead down to 8.
Nice job by Williams to assert that size and get the ball in the net. You're speaking about Gunther, man. He's just a ball of energy, too. And here come the fouls. So that one's going to be on Stevie Williams. His third, sending Kyle Dillon to the line.
And so Kyle Dillon hits the first one, and yeah, it wasn't vintage Kyle Dillon tonight, but contributed as a facilitator, did a good job filling his lanes, and
at the free throw line.
Yep.
Perfect tonight.
4 for 4 for Kyle Dillon. And he'll finish with 8. Stephen Williams, the answer back 3, not that time. And Gunther with the rebound. And perhaps one last foul by Chaminade, by St. John the Baptist.
And that'll be the other Williams, Christian. And he's going to send Elliott to the line. It seems like there's nobody you want to send to the line for Chaminade. I definitely wouldn't want to send hot hand Cameron to the line.
No, he was great in the first quarter, shooting his threes, and now from the free throw line, Chaminade collectively getting it done. This to put them up 13 as they inch closer to their 16th win of the season. Williams lets a 3 go, and then a foul. Elliott.
That's going to be Elliott's third of the game. And I'll tell you, John, he's been a story as well. Cam Elliott really stepping up in this game today, putting up quite a few points. Coach wants to calm him down. He doesn't want them getting any fouls right now. Don't slow this game down at all. Keep this clock going. 33.8 on the clock. And Christian Williams got 1 in. And make it 2 of 2. And there's Williams, perfect.
Well, the free throw shooting's been as good as advertised, and one more foul.
That one's going to be on Jeremiah Carter.
And so now just a formality. Which, if the first 3 quarters were a SMR, sprint medley relay, or a 100-meter dash, this has been the 5,000-meter.
And again, if they're going to foul, you might as well just get the ball in Elliott's hand. Lights out tonight. And we'll see Chaminade probably give them a lot more space. Carter with that big three.
Williams still battling underneath and gets the hoop.
Yeah, I don't know if you noticed there, Devin Dillon put his hand out and then put his hand behind his back. He didn't want to lean in and create a foul, rather give them the easy two and let that clock tick down. St. John the Baptist still fouling, but it seems like it's not going to do much at this point with 15.6 on the clock and a 9-point lead with, again, Cool Hand Cameron.
Well, one of the points of emphasis for Cam Elliott at the beginning of the year by Feeney and the coaching staff was to be more aggressive and not pass up on open shots. I would like to say, with only 3 games remaining in the regular season, that he's taken that advice in bunches as he hits them both. 21 for Elliott. Williams another 3. Clock winding down, and Chaminade just has to get it across half court. Here's Jonaus as time will expire, and the Chaminade Flyers are the 2023-24 NSCHSAA regular season champions as they knock off St. John the Baptist 77-69.
And a tremendous win by Chaminade to go 9-1 and clinch. This game was back and forth, John, until the fourth quarter. And then Chaminade managed to pull away and keep it away with some incredible play today by Devin Dillon, some lights-out shooting by Cameron Elliott. And, again, I can't say enough about Gunther. I love the way he plays, fast-moving, really excellent game, and an excellent fourth quarter for Chaminade.
Take a quick break. When we come back, we'll speak to our player of the game on the Varsity Media Sports Network. You're watching Varsity Media, New York's high school sports network.
At St. Francis Heart Center, we're not just regional heart experts. We share our greater success with the world. We don't just pioneer technology. We do it more than anywhere on Greater Long Island. And we don't just win awards. We deliver greater outcomes for people like you. As New York's only specialty designated cardiac center, we're not satisfied with just being good. This is Long Island. This is St. Francis Heart Center. And greater lives here.
Hey sports fans, did you know Varsity Media live stream broadcasts get viewed by college coaches nationwide? Through our announcers' storytelling and insight on your athletes, we can help your players get an edge on college recruiting. Find out how by reaching out to Varsity Media today, 516-403-2050, or email ben@varsitymedia.net.
Back here at Chaminade High School as the Flyers, the regular season champions, once more again, and we are joined by our player of the game, Devin Dillon, leading the way with 23 points. And Devin, we'll talk about your game in a second, but I know one of the goals this year was to lock up the number 1 seed. You guys have done it. When you look back at this year as a whole, I know there's a long road to go, but your thoughts so far through this process?
Just getting better every day, one day at a time. We won the league first place. We locked that up today, so that's just one step, and next is to get that chip.
And specifically for you, what was working so well as we take a look at the highlights?
They obviously had a game plan to make me the scorer, so we had to adjust and took advantage of that. And if that meant I had to shoot a little bit more, we were fine with that, and we got the win.
What did you feel defensively from him, Devin? As far as, like, one state, they had to figure out at halftime that you were the guy. Between you and Elliott,
yeah,
the two of you guys were on fire. Did you feel any different in the second half? Did they game plan for you?
We knew they were going to stick with that game plan, so memo at halftime was just keep attacking, be aggressive, and it worked. So,
before we let you go, I'd be remiss if we didn't bring up, he mentioned Cam Elliott and the rest of this team too. What does it say about the state of this team where St. John the Baptist, a very feisty team, able to lock up your brother offensively, but you guys are still able to get it done and win comfortably?
Yeah, we got so many options on this team. We got guys that can come off the bench and score the ball, so that just makes us so much harder to beat when we got guys that don't play a lot, but when they get their number called, they're ready. Just separates us.
St. Anthony's on Thursday. You ready for them?
Yeah, we're ready.
All right, he's ready. We're ready to sign off as well. Devin Dillon, thank you for the time. Yep. Congratulations on the title. That'll do it for everybody here on the Varsity Media Sports Network. For our executive producer, Ben Turchin, technical director is Chris Sweeney, Travis DeLuise and Ron Pierre giving you the moving images. For my partner, Rob Anderson, this is John Perez saying so long from Chaminade High School. This has been a presentation of the NSCHSAA Boys Basketball League on the Varsity Media Sports Network.